GG.
Jesus
Again.
fucking Christ.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Darkmech here. I'm in Shadowmoon Burial Grounds today for the Rebooted 6.2 Challenge Mode Guide. I had a couple of people hit me up on my YouTube channel and say they actually preferred the non-DK videos. So here I am, guys. I am on my Brewmaster. There's no DK in the group, and I'm going to show you how to get this done with a bit of a different strat and some new things. So straight out of the gate here, guys, we got 3 mobs, the Bone Mender and the 2 reanimated Skellies. Focus down the Bone Mender. If you've got a Spell Reflector or a Dark Sim, make sure you're getting the Shadow Bolts. Otherwise, make sure you interrupt the Shadow Mend, and once they're down, we really should have been already kiting. Get the Shadow Mender down and then start kiting your Skellies with you down this way. Now you can see there's a Void Spawn. It's going right, so we're going to go left. If it was going left, we'd be going right. And we're just going to, it's a bit unlucky here, but it's kind of always just a game of luck, guys, as to whether you're going to have a Void Spawn spawned at the altar or not. You can wait if you would like. We just found it was going to take too much time to wait, so we just ended up pulling it. It also meant that we didn't have to pull the padding exhumer after the second boss, but I'll go into that when we get there. So if there is a Void Spawn up at the altar, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. The biggest thing is to make sure that you have your interrupts sorted out. If all of you mash your interrupt on the first cast, then you will most likely die. So be vocal with your interrupts, guys, and have some kind of order worked out. Now around the altar there's going to be a Loyalist and 3 Defiled Spirits. We're also going to have someone go off and drag the spiders to us, which our Hunter Jai did there. The Loyalist guys will cast Shadow Bolts and a big purple ball of shit that goes in a straight line. You don't want to stand in it, and that is pretty much about it for that pack that's going to give you any worries. The spiders don't do anything. So get over here, have your Hunters or your Warlocks or whatnot dismiss their pets, pre-pot, drop down, and we're going to get these little spiders here, and we're going to run around the corner and into our next pack, which is a Mender and 3 Skellies. Now guys, these hit quite fucking hard. As you can see, I dipped pretty fast there. So a big one here for your cap totems, your leg sweeps, your interrupts, your shockwaves, your shadow furies, all that kind of crap. We're using grounding totem to reflect some of the shadow bolts. Make sure that you are getting the mend. Again, we're cleaving off the Bone Mender and just getting the Skellies down. Now, the Skellies do a fair bit of damage. If you need to kite, make sure you do. Technically, we already should have been moving with these now to the first boss, Sedana, because it would have saved us a bit of time. There are quite a few kind of fuck-ups in this video. There's some really awful fuck-ups that I'm going to show you in this video, which is a bit unfortunate, but at least you kind of get to see how we've done it and how you can make it better for yourself. So the first boss, guys, Sedana Blood Fury. We're going to do this a little bit different than I have on my other videos. I'm going to pull her over to near this green marker to start. I'm going to wait for the first dagger to drop, and then I'm going to move to that purple marker, which is just under my nameplate there, back over to this bridge. Now, just watch how far you come back with her, because I had a reset on me once, which was a giant pain in the ass. The biggest thing here, guys, is just watch where you're standing. There will be daggers that will continue to fall, that can fall. You can see them on the bridge there, especially if you've got 2 melee and we've got 2 melee. Otherwise, if your ranger all standing in the middle, you tend to get a little bit luckier, but we've got 2 melee, so we got 2 on the bridge. Just watch where you're standing. Now the ad, make sure your Hunter puts a frost trap under it. Make sure you're asphyxing it if you can, paralysis, any shit you can to stop it from getting to Sedana. The idea is that you're going to kill Sedana before that ad gets there. And doing it on the bridge, you give yourself the longest possible path for that ad to get to her to be able to kill it, and it saves a fuck ton of time. Remember to pre-pop, remember to hero on it. Once it's down, we're going to go into this next pack. Now, this next pack can be a little bit nasty. You want to make sure you've got someone interrupting the back one there, as you can see we did. And you're going to get 3 Enslavers and 3 Subjugated Souls. Now, the Enslavers cast a thing called Rending Voidlash, and it fucking hurts. So, big thing here, guys. AMS, Diffuse Magic. If you got a DK, you'd Mass Grip it. You can Dark Sim the Rending Voidlash, you can Spell Reflect it. Monks, we're just going to Diffuse Magic it. But make sure that you're using your health pots, that you're getting interrupts off. I had to use a paralysis to interrupt one there. Just anything you can, because they do quite a bit of damage and you can melt. Now, these Exhumers here are interesting mobs. What you need to do is you need to pull them. They're going to stop and cast, and you need to interrupt them through that cast. DKs can asphyxiate, they can grip them, monks we can paralysis them. What it does is it means that they will stop, they won't spawn these 2 adds. Now you can see Big Dumb Jai just did his amazing barrage. The Exhumer's done the cast, and now we've got these 2 adds. Thanks, Big Dumb Jai. So we're all swearing at Jai at the moment. Now, it's really not that big of a deal. The spirits do fuck all. What we really should have done here, and we could have handled it, I think, is just taken this right now and gone straight to the boss with it. We didn't, as we were all kind of bitching Jai out about his amazing barrage skills. If you've seen any of my other challenge mode videos, you may have seen Jai's amazing barrage skills. But really, it's not a big deal if that happens, and you could take them to the boss quite easily, and we probably could have saved ourselves a bit of time. Hug the right wall coming over. There's 3 runes at the front there. Don't go running through the middle, otherwise you'll get more adds. And then we're going to pre-pot, and we're going to go on to the second boss, Nalash. Now, Nalash, he really isn't that much of an issue, this boss. As a tank, make sure you're facing him away from your group. He's going to do this ability in a moment, this Void Blast. I'm just going to use Diffuse Magic to get through it with no worries. DKs can AMS it, Warriors, High Resolved Shield barrier and whatnot. But just make sure it's not facing over onto your group, because it does do a bit of damage. He's going to do this Void Vortex, which DBM will tell you to run away. There is no real need to run away. Just run over and keep bashing him in the face. He'll then do this Soul Steal, which ports you into this little soul realm. You need to kick your own ass, click on what'll come up after you've killed your soul, and you'll get a damage and healing buff when you come out of it. Now, it's not worth saving your cooldowns for this bit. I think it's worth using your cooldowns straight off the bat with your pre-pot. The reason being is that we're going to cheese this a fair way when he does Void Devastation by dropping a Grounding Totem and reflecting majority of it back at him. So here's the Void Devastation as I was talking about. There's the Grounding Totem that is down, and what we're going to do is we're going to move in. We're going to take 1 tick of that each, and we're going to reflect it onto him, and you can see it's ticking for 60k a tick onto him, and he just melts and dies. So that is it, guys. Pretty easy to get around that with Grounding Totem. Saves yourself a bit of time. We got another ad here. I don't know how. And then Jai, again, decides to pull out his amazingness. And there it is. There's the barrage. So we get an Exhumer, and then we've got our other 3 Exhumers and our Enslavers, and our Subjugated Souls. Jai's dead, so we're trying to drag this all into here, trying to get some interrupts to try and clump them up. Now, I'm a bit nub here because my coin comes off cooldown in 5 seconds, and I don't actually pop it. And you can see the Rending Void Lashes do quite a bit of damage. I've got Iron Bark on me at the moment. We probably could have survived this. We're all kind of onto Jai again about barrage. And I die. I actually end up dying 4 times here, guys. Now, the plan is, not that this was the plan, but the plan is to die after the second boss, but it's once we've got this pat down. The reason being is that you spawn directly where the second boss is, and you no longer have your hero debuff. So what we usually do is we kill this pat, not like this. I just wanted to reset it now. We kill this pat like this, and then we run around the corner to that other pack, and we die. But we've just done it a real arse way around, and we've still got it done, but it's fucking ugly. Now you can see that padding Exhumer in the top there through the rock. If we didn't kill that Void Spawn on the altar, we would have needed to have got that one for mob count. So just keep that in mind. That's what I was talking about before. I didn't have my my glider on my bars, so I nubbed it that way as well. But we put a feast down, we're going to eat, and then we're going to go into the next pack, which is going to be a bunch of little spiders. We're actually going to pull the other bunch of little spiders on the way down because we're not jumping over the wall. And then we're going to go into these 2 plagued bats and the monstrous corpse spider you can see there. Now, the mob of interest here, guys, is the monstrous corpse spider. Reason being, it does 2 casts, and they both do a fair bit of fucking damage. Now, the first cast is Death Venom. That does a fuck ton of damage to your tank. So make sure that you're either dark simming it or you're interrupting it. Monks here as well. We can dispel the little acid fucking spitty dot thing from the bats on us. I was getting rid of it at about 4. It seemed like a good number. I don't have any other maths behind that. So we've pulled the little spiders, as you can see, and then we're heading down to the 2 monstrous corpse spiders. We got a skull on one and the other's unmarked. We got 2 interrupts on the skull and 2 on the non-marked. Again, guys, try and interrupt what you can here. We got grounding totem down to reflect whatever we can as well in regards to the casts. It's quite a vocal instance in regards to, you have to be talking to each other in regards to what you're doing, what you want to let go through cast wise, when you're going to use your leg sweeps, when you're going to use your cap totems and things like that, just to make sure that you don't double up. The goal is to try and kill these guys as close together as you can. We're sort of not too bad. Now, this is where it gets different, guys, than the other videos I've shown you. What we're going to do now is we're going to hug this left wall here, and we're going to go around. Ketter's going to buff us all with water walking, and we're going to skip the bridge. So we're going to skip the carrion worms and the bats. Now, I really like doing it this way. If you've got a DK, you can Path of Frost. You can see Keter actually cast Water Walking on everyone and himself, but didn't end up with Water Walking. Then you get silenced from the water. So DK with Path of Frost is a lot easier than having to do it, but obviously you can still Water Walking just fine. You want to run all the way around the back here over to this little sprout of water, and we're going to get up onto the platform, skip that whole bridge, and go on to Bone Moor. Bone Moor, guys, pretty straightforward. What we're actually going to do is most of us are going to stack, all of us are nearly going to stack within melee range or melee range-ish. The Corpse Breath is really, it's not going to do a lot of damage. What we want to do, though, is we want to drop, you can see those little pools of grey shit on the ground. We're going to try and drop them as close to the boss as we can. The reason being is when he does his little inhale, we want to be able to stand in the back of them, make sure we're not chewed up by the boss, but we can keep DPSing him. So here's the inhale now. We're standing in the back here, and you can see our DPS is still able to go ham on the boss without getting sucked in. Now, I probably should have been moving in closer there because I'm not doing anything there, so that's pretty nubbish. The other big thing to watch out here is the body smashes. Now, there'll be 2 other worms that come up after the first one. You can see the first slam we had was only 1. The next one, there's 2 other worms that are off screen at the moment that will also do a smash. But it is not hard to avoid. Just make sure that you are not standing in the slash, otherwise you'll be punted off the platform. So once Bone Moor's down, guys, you're going to run into this next mob and you are going to die. Same reason again, guys. We want to reset hero. The respawn point is right there where Bone Moor was. So everybody die, reset your hero, drop some food, or eat your own food, or whatever the fuck you want to do, and get rebuffed. Now this next pack, this actually a lot of groups choose to invisit just to not have to go through the pain in the ass of it. It's 2 monstrous corpse spiders and 2 bats. On the monk, it's not too bad because we can just dispel the little dot or the acid dot from the bats. I know what I'm talking about. But again, guys, interrupt order is huge here. So you can see we got a cap down, and then you can see Keter and I actually, he caps and I leg sweep. So straight off the bat there, dumb coordination and a waste of stuns there in terms of getting an interrupt on a cast. Make sure you're using your diffuse magics, your AMSs, your health pots. I use Fort Brew here. I've gone through a health pot as well. You pretty much need to cycle a bit. One thing I haven't gone through at looking at this is a fucking guard though, so that's pretty retarded by me. I've still got 2 charges of that left, so my apologies to Blix there. That probably could have been a little bit easier for you. And then we're going to run up here. Now again, this is another way to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to pull the first one and we're going to roots the one on the other side. Now the first, when we started doing challenge modes, I didn't actually know this. I just thought you had to kind of run in with your head up your ass, try and interrupt as best as you could and get them down. And we actually managed to do it, which is quicker. But the easiest way is to just root one in the corner, drag the other one all the way back here, and then you've just got to make sure that you're interrupting these void pulses. And you can see the other one is just going merrily by itself in the corner, but it's not actually hitting anyone with those void pulses. So just an easy way to manage this and make sure that you don't get here and die. I'm just looking at this at 15 stacks of Elusive Brew right now, just wishing I'd fucking use my Elusive Brew. But maybe I'm saving it for the boss, and we'll just know I just used it then. So I don't really have any excuse. That's pretty piss poor too. Again, guys, though, interrupt order is the biggest fucking thing here on these. It's nothing worse than getting here and dying. Something else that happened though when we were doing this is we actually ended up getting to this boss 3 times and fucking dying all with well within gold time as well, which is a really sad fucking place to wipe. But anyway, get through the gap, skip the cinematic, and then we're on to the last boss, Ner'zhul. So again, guys, if you've got your pre-pots up or whatever, make sure you're pre-potting. We're going to use Hero again on this. Get out of the Malevolence. You can see the little purple orbs that come down from, or the beams that come down from the sky. Every time one of them drop, they're called the Omen of Death. Sorry, I just had to remember. You want to make sure you're moving Ner'zhul away. You can see the Ritual of Bones here. Just make sure you kill one. Get everybody through it. As the tank, don't be a dick and turn around and face Ner'zhul on the way that your party's running. Otherwise, you're just going to line everybody up in Malevolence and get them killed. You can also Mirrored Blades, the Omen of Death. So you get your Hunter to with the glyph, Mirrored Blades, run into one of the Omens, and you can reflect some of the damage on him there as well. But otherwise, really not a lot of problems on Ner'zhul. You shouldn't be dying on Ner'zhul. We did die 3 times though, so if you end up dying on Ner'zhul, don't feel like too much of a retard. We were there with you. But that is pretty much it, guys. That is Shadowmoon Burial Grounds rebooted for 6.2. It really isn't that hard of a challenge mode once you kind of break it down and get your stuff organized. But as always, I hope it's been a help to you guys. You need anything else, please do hit me up. And thank you very, very much for checking out the video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see some more. Thanks very much. See ya.